welcome back, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. Today we will be looking at the Estates Generale of May 5th, 1789, which first started on April 10th, 1305. It was last called in 1614. Now, before I get into it, some interesting facts about this newspaper is it is 5 pages long, and it covers the events of the entire day. What went down, who spoke, what they spoke about, the issues of the day, why the assembly was called, and so forth. And this is, you can see it's number 2. So the first issue was May 1st. And they printed all the way until June 19th when they became the assembly. Now on to the interesting part, the history behind this event. So first of all, there were 3 estates. The first estate, which were made up of the clergy, second estate, which were made up of the nobles, and the third estate, which was basically everyone else. All your peasants, your mercenaries, your farmers, your merchants, your landlords, etc. And the first estate had roughly made up 100,000 of the populace. The second estate made up roughly 400,000, and the third estate roughly made up 98 million. Sorry, 28 million. So you can see the discrepancy there right from the gate. The king, he made a speech the day before calling it, basically saying what to expect and how to lead the convention, and he called for only the most noble of persons. Ironically, though, the first estate was made up of Catholic priests who actually were sympathetic to the bourgeoisie or members of the third estate. Another ironic tidbit of the day was that because the king asked for only the most notable of persons for this, the third estate was actually made up of mostly lawyers and magistrates, which were coincidentally nobles, who in then 4 made up the 28 million populace of the French true third estate. Translated, this says, number 2 of the Estates Generale, Versailles, the 5th of May, 1789. At last, the opening of the Estates General took place today. The roll call began following the order of 1614. The deputies were not in place until 11:45. And inside here, on the second page actually, they talk about why they met today, the main reason. The main result in finance is the conflict of which France and England have managed at will only 56 million euros, or francs, and only 25 million in revenue increases. And that is obviously the main reason as to why Louis called this meeting for the first time in 175 years. Now, thing is, though, Louis was not his grandfather, Louis the 14th. Louis the 16th was more, say, incompetent and obviously not that well liked. Later in this series, I will be going over the events of the 17th and the 20th of June, which created both the Assemblée Nationale and the famous tennis court oath, which stipulated that they will not waver until a constitution is formed in the government's name, of which Louis was obliged. Whether he liked it or not,